Okay, guys, so we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly Fate Weaver this evening, because tonight we are carrying on with our ongoing adventure playing Ryan Vernier's outstanding Blackbirds, a Gothic Fantasy RPG. And we are playing an adventure we're calling The Truth in Ashes. And with me tonight are the stars of the Truth in Ashes adventure. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight? First up, we've got our resident walker of the path of craft and expertise, Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave. I'm playing Emrys Batch, and he's a little rebellious commoner who walks the path of shadow and subterfuge.
Very nice. Next up is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Kenyon Maddox, and he is a longtime friend of Robat Teague. We're hoping to run into today, and to get there, I've been walking the path of bow and blade.
Very nice. And last, but certainly not least, is George.
Hey everybody, I'm George. I am playing Leknir Bluenose, who is from Thule. He follows the path of Odd and Ritual, and he's joined up with this group of Blackbirds a little bit late, but he's hoping to make up for it.
Very nice. So guys, the last session saw you guys making some hard decisions. We had you in, I believe it was Ramblecross. Let me bring you to that little village. So this is where you guys were in Ramblecross, and get you down here. Boom. There we go. And it was at a little place called Mary's Pot that you were trying to collect some intel and make your plans for next steps. What do you guys recall from last time?
I was absent
last time. George was absent. Jeff had COVID, so I think maybe, Dave, you might be doing the heavy lifting on the recap here. I will assist where I can.
So we were in town. A rider in the previous session had been dispatched. We figured to go and let the authorities know we were here. And we had to get some information and get out of Dodge before the authorities arrived. So
you learned something about local politics on your way in. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, so Kenyon's childhood friend Robat has been said to have killed his father and is now a renegade on the run. And his mom is taken power, and Robat's mother has taken power and I guess searching for him. And she's said to be a magic user? No. She's got some kind of there's some kind of dark magic involved in rumored to be in the household. So we're not sure what's going on.
Yeah, and there seems as if you did hear some rumors about something dark hunting in these regions as well.
Yeah, because on the path from the town up to the keep or the tower, on the path to the tower, there's a farmstead that everyone just went missing, and no one's really investigated what's going on there. Or so we made it sound like we were going to head up to that farmstead, and while we were on the road, we ducked off and head towards the keep, where we learned Robat has been hiding out, which is through heavy bush, no way easy to access it. It's the old family keep that's gone overgrown.
Not their family, because you may remember that. Well, you may not, but as a refresher, the family they are the Teagues of Black Tower, but they're also known as the Bastards of Black Tower, because when Mulgrave Keep fell out of favor centuries ago, it was abandoned, and the tower was installed as the new hold for the newly installed House Teague, which owes to Kenyon's family, part of the familial connection there.
So yeah, we were bushwhacked to get to the keep, which is beat up and overgrown. and made our presence known so that we could talk to Robat.
Yes. Jeff, do you remember anything else? I'm not saying there is anything else necessarily, but if there is
I believe that the magic was it was Robat that they were suggesting who was doing the magic, and his mother was using that information to get the help of the Sigilites.
That is correct. Yeah. The Sigilites have been seen. You fortunately did not run into anyone in town, but the Sigilites have been active in the area, apparently assisting the mother.
And I remember that I didn't believe that I had never seen him involved with magic, and so...
No, and you did not know the family to be particularly devoted to the Sigilites, who are actually, from a faith that is more popular further to the east, outside of Elkland. So then, Lickner, do you have any questions about what happened last time?
That all makes sense. And how far did you get in getting into the keep, or...
We arrived at the keep at the end of the thing, and I believe... how's everyone fatigue-wise? Someone, I think, needs to flip their fate coin today.
Oh, did I lose? I did use my fate coin again?
You just like making use of that, homemade coin.
Yeah, where is my homemade coin? What? I lost it?
Oh.
Stolen from you.
Embers, did you... I don't think you spent your fate point last time, did you?
No.
No.
And it doesn't appear that I did either. 2 times ago.
No. From 2 times ago, no.
Yeah.
Did you find it?
The only other person that's been in my house is the cleaning lady. Like, would she see a rubber piece of thing and think it was garbage and throw it away?
I think you were speculating on that last time, right around the time you found it. So keep speculating.
What?
That seems to be a good luck for you.
What is it? Oh, man. Oh, did I find it on the floor? No. I think it really is lost.
Uh-oh. Kenyon's out of fate.
This time. Kenyon is fateless. Okay, I'll go get a coin. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, sounds good. So,
A good reminder to get our coins out.
Yes, yeah. And your action coins, too, or action points.
Yeah.
There we go. I just had a new Kickstarter reward deliver for one of the necessary evil, the supervillain or superhero setting box set for Savage Worlds, and it's got a bunch of new poker chips in there. Like, they have these high quality poker chips they use for bennies, and it's got a bunch of superheroes on it. So, like, I have been using my 6-gun chips for fortune points or fate points or whatever else. I'm gonna rotate those other suckers in because they look pretty fucking cool.
Oh, I found it after I went and got a good old-fashioned Canadian quarter.
Okay, here we go. Nice. So is it elk or...
No, I found it. I found my...
Oh, you found the coin. Okay, good.
Yeah. So it's the cross or the skull. Obviously, the cross is good. The skull is bad.
Yep.
Flip. That is... Uh-oh. Oh, that's the cross. Oh, that's good. Okay. It's like written in pen on black rubber, so I have to shine it in the light to see.
Keeps you on your toes. That's good. It's a sense of drama.
It's good. It is a sense of drama.
All right.
Okay. I am fated to be here.
Okay. Excellent. Then, as you guys arrive, let's start. Unless there's any questions about what's happened the previous day, then let's pick up with you guys arriving. Yeah, you guys can hear the throbbing sound of electronic music inside. You're arriving at Mulgrave Keep. Adam? Okay. How do you guys wish to approach it? I believe it was Kenyon who may have stepped forward.
Yeah, I believe we were just going to walk in or knock on the door or announce our arrival or whatever. We weren't...
Okay.
Going to sneak.
So the one thing I will say about the keep itself, this I think is a pretty good representation, but you can picture it more surrounded by lush, vibrant trees. So the area, just that finding a suitable kind of ramshackle keep that doesn't also have like fucking undead crawling all over it is a challenging image search. So this is kind of what you can picture. It's been reassembled. Likely at some point that drawbridge was busted, but they've managed to put something together to give you a way of getting across and getting access to the keep proper. The walls on the far side likely have collapsed at some point, so there is a wooden palisade set up, but not to the equal of its former glory or former protectiveness. Protectiveness, is that a word? It is now. So Kenyon, you step forward. What do you say?
Is there anyone visible at all, or does it look this like...
You can hear the sound of people from within, and you can see that there are lights, but there does not appear to be, like, there's no obvious people standing, at guard or whatnot.
Right. Should we... I'll look at my companions, should we announce our arrival?
I mean, it seems we should. Will otherwise look suspicious.
So I'll sort of shout out, "Greetings!"
Okay. Why don't you give us a... Let's see here. I think it'll be a standard charm check, please.
Okay.
You're going to get some fortune rolling right away if it needs be.
Let's see.
No,
Nice.
Fortune needed. Awesome roll. Okay. So there is a... You can hear from somewhere up in the tower, it seems like you can hear the sound of someone walking along, creaking boards, and someone shouts down, "Who's that then?"
Tell your master that Kenyon Maddox is here.
Kenyon Maddox?
That's right.
What's your business here?
I'm here to see your commander, the prince.
Oh. And you can hear some muttering back and forth in the tower as they're, like, "Oh, you the prince." And then they depart. One of them heads down. "Hold on. We're checking. Stay in the light. How many of you are you?"
There's 3 of us.
"We'll get them all to step into the light."
I'll wave them in.
I'll step up.
I suppose. I'll slink out of the shadows. Is that enough?
Okay. So waiting there, what you can see after about a 20-minute wait, there's someone who comes back, and you can hear a voice that comes down from the top. "Who's down there who says they are Kenyon Maddox?"
It's me. Matt.
"You. Step closer to the light."
I'll step closer to the light.
Well, if you're Kenyon Maddox, as you say, you'll know what we did while quartered at Sir Zygmus's residence. Whatever you think it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we, turned the room upside down we were staying in or something. Tore the place up a little bit. Yeah, we trashed that room.
What? Doesn't sound like you.
Well, it was a different time, Emrys.
So you think that the Lord Heir Apparent to Black Tower would destroy the home of one of his honored retainers.
Yes, I do believe your mother was none too impressed with us that day.
Well, that is true, Kenyon. And likely why Zygmus has thrown in with my mother. Stay there. I'm coming down. And there is a brief pause. Let's see here. I don't know if they had like a compendium for Zweihander at some point and pulled it or what, but like there is a button that I always accidentally hit for the compendium, and it says, "Whoops, we have nothing." I thought there was one at one point, wasn't there? Because I've cut and pasted stuff. You don't have access to any content for. I wonder if I remove. No, because I would have access. I own this fucking thing. That's really weird. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Let's see here. Okay.
Yeah.
I could have sworn there was one before.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So the door opens, and there are two people who come on. I'm actually going to add one more thing here. Where's my Blackbird Fang Dragon? Did I put it...
Would surprise me in this setting.
A dragon would be... yeah.
I will say, once again, since we're just doing this for limited, it's like a limited series, that the world of Blackbirds is actually really very cool. It's very interesting. It's different. It's unique, but it all feels very cohesive.
It does. Like, it feels... I read over my holiday this year, I read Berserk for the first time. And that was... There's a lot of stuff I see now in Blackbirds. Like, oh, fuck, of course, this is like really heavily inspired by that. But it is very, very much its own thing, too. Like, it really is a lot of unique stuff that's been drawn in. And it is... yeah, it's an incredible setting. And a really, really well done game. You can actually find, for those listening at home who may not be familiar with it... sorry, I'm showing this fucking hair. Jeez Louise, drive me nuts. The link down below, there's a link to the quick start for it. So there's a free quick start. Has a full adventure in it for Blackbirds, as well as some pre-gens. Okay, so the door opens. First person who steps out, and though the years have passed, Kenyon, you recognize Rabat quite clearly. And
Rabat, old friend.
He has a pretty big smile, comes out and hugs you. And the person who steps out afterwards is someone... Why don't you give us a... Kenyon. Give us a... I think education check. Remember, if you're not trained in that, it is flip to fail.
Education. Yeah, I am not trained.
Uh-oh. Nice. B60.
Oh, but even with the flip to fail.
That's awesome.
So the other person who steps out looks like this. And you recognize him as Lord Celestianus Virbalis. And he is someone you recognize. Let me actually put his last name in as well. I mean, I know you guys would all remember Virbalis, but, you know, let's just err on the side of caution. This is for the other players. So there we go. Celestianus Virbalis. He steps out and has very much that same suspicious look on his face as he studies you. And Emrys, I think you may recognize that look of like the person who is not as trusting on its face of developments that the Lord is. So Rabat comes out and very quickly he's about to go and clasp Kenyon in a long lost friend's embrace. Lord Celestianus kind of grabs him and he says, "Kenyon Maddox, what is your business here?"
Well, what was the name of the city that we were in, Kev?
That was in Carrick.
Carrick, oh yeah.
As part of the Hallowed Hounds mercenary unit.
Yeah. Well, the Hallowed Hounds were stationed in Carrick, and as I'm sure you may not be aware yet, the city was razed. We've barely escaped with our lives, and
so Lord Celestianus says, "You're deserters then. Mercenaries and deserters."
Well, we are mercenaries. We
His eyes dart, viper quick to Sir Rabat, and then back to you. "And why are you here now, mercenary?"
Well, we thought we could seek refuge with an old friend, and when we arrived here in this area, we heard of your troubles with your mother, the lies that she's been spreading, and of course I immediately thought I should seek you out.
"You met with his mother and then sought to seek out our lord."
No, you misconstrued my words. We heard of the troubles with his mother. We did not meet with her. We came here, as I knew something must be wrong, because she's spreading lies of her own son.
You are so good a friend for so long. To flee a burning city, abandon your duty, and then seek out... And Rabat kind of interrupts. He's like, "Celestianus, enough. I know my friend from before. There are some things and some oaths that remain unbroken. Isn't that right, Kenyon?"
That is right.
He may have forsaken his family, or more correctly, his may have forsaken him, which led him to take up arms for coin. But how different is his position from where we are now, Celestianus? Celestianus sets the growl, if it's out of 3 right now, it goes up to a 4.5. And who are your companions, Kenyon?
This is
mercenaries too? We could use swordsmen.
Yes. This here is my friend long ago, Emrys. You may remember him from long ago.
Emrys. The hunter kid.
Yes. Remember he obtained that wine for us that one weekend.
I don't think you guys really had, from what you guys have talked about before, it does not seem like you had a really rosy... Emrys kind of hated you up until...
it wasn't rosy at all. That's why I said he was on the dark side. But there was a couple times, I think the way we talked about it was like, that is exactly the kind of thing he did for us. Like, begrudgingly, like, he would take our money.
Oh, like you would bully him into doing shit.
Or he'd be like, I can't get this. Can you help? And I'd be like, well, it's going to cost you.
For the right coin.
Yeah.
It's like, the relationship is not...
So maybe he wouldn't say that he wouldn't say the hunter, he'd say, the resourceful one.
Yeah, exactly.
My, you've grown. And who is your northern friend here?
Well, we actually just met him.
You're Celestianus.
He saved our lives on the path here. We ran into some troubled spirits, unbelievably, and with his help, we were able to dispatch them.
Celestianus's eyes kind of dart now with there's almost like a focus that suddenly hits them. Spirits. What do you mean?
Dark spirits. Well, there was a cabin in the woods that we took refuge in, and we believe they were unquiet spirits from previous tenants of the cabin.
Lord Celestianus says, unquiet shades.
That's right.
You faced this and survived.
Yes, as I said, with the help here of my friend, my new friend.
It looks at Licknir. And what sort of knowledge do you bring, new friend?
I know things of spirits, as you were discussing, and things of the stars and of fate, and things beyond the veil.
He looks at Lord
And he kind of sticks
Celestianus.
his hand out, like if this would be, well, actually, regardless of whether this would be the custom or not in this area, he thrusts out his arm to kind of clasp it. And it's like, well met. And he's like,
I'm a member of a crusty old bearded bald guy union local 206, and where are you from?
And I've got the pipe in my mouth as I'm doing it.
Yeah. So Lord Celestianus looks at your hand. Are you a bargainer, stranger? A theurge?
I do not bargain. I serve fate as it deemed, and that does involve the use of theurgy.
He is a wizard. And Sir Rabat says, we need all the allies we can who are willing to align themselves with us. Save the persecution of witches for my mother's friends. Canyon, we are not many and we have not much, but come, if you've traveled all this way. Celestianus is still holding, not moving and sort of obstructing halfway the way of getting back in.
Yeah.
He eventually relents and moves back in. Now, because you rolled well in your education too, you'll notice there is something he said. That his title, while his father was alive, would be Sir Robat. He is he's been knighted. Lord Celestianus referred to him as our Lord. He would only do so if he considers him the actual ruler of Black Tower. What you know of Celestianus, he's a very educated man, and very much for the particulars of what nobles are expected and entitled to in the proper kind of way of doing things. The fact that he has allied himself with Sir Robat, I think you would have thought up until now that he probably would not like him very much. And yet, here he is.
Right.
So as you make your way into the ruined fortress at Mulgrave Keep, there is one other familiar face you see making his way seemingly to the privy. And this is someone who was probably about maybe 6 or 7 years older than you. So, seemed quite old accomplished and whatnot. That is Sir Simonis. Oops, Vidzianus. There we go. This is what he looks like. Great big dude.
Ooh.
You would recognize him anyway. He definitely has, more years on him now. He is grown even larger over time. He stands probably like 6'8", 6'9".
Whoa.
Yeah, so like a very, very large guy. And someone who likely, helped you with your training and whatnot when you were seconded here or, I'm not sure, apprenticed here? I'm not sure what it's not squired. What is it, fold? Maybe it is squired. I don't remember. I'm sure there is a name for it. I just do not recall what it is.
I would probably nod to him.
it's a foundling, right? Like that's the name of how you describe someone who's like left to another family or something like that, or sent off to another family, or am I getting that wrong?
That sounds right.
Okay. Or at least I said it convincing enough.
I'd buy it.
All right. So he's walking along. You recognize him, but he does not seem to have recognized you, or his mind, if he's heading to the privy, is on other matters.
Yeah.
And he has
I probably wouldn't stop him at this point. I would just take note that he is here.
Okay. So, as you are making your way in, he says, "Oh yeah, foundling." So that's not right at all. Fostering? Gosh, I know there is a word for it, or phrase for it. I just can't think of it for the life of me right now. I having such a stupid day. I spent about 15 minutes trying to remember if I'm using the word jurisprudence correctly in the context of an email I sent. And it was a pissy email, so I didn't want to get it wrong. George, lost you in roll 20.
All right. Hold on. Yep.
Okay. So, as you guys, the big guy you see there, Dave, that is someone who has, Kenyon knows, who is walking across kind of the way to get to the privy. As you're brought in, Sir Robat says, "What have you heard then?"
Well, we heard that there was a falling out and that you had become involved with black magic and had taken the life of your father?
Some of that is correct. Okay, I tried refreshing. I still can't get you back, George.
And that
I think I know what to do.
Okay.
that your sister had been wed to Sir Anwys?
She has. Sir Anwys, and he was always fond of her, and
I never thought your father would ever approve of that marriage.
he did not. That was the work of my mother. And it was one of the matters on which we disagreed, which led to... I do not know what devil has bewitched her, but something has changed in her in these last years. There is something... It is as if something walks in her skin. It remembers like her. It speaks like her. It smells like her. But those with an eye for it can see she is not there. She slew my father. She and her pet sorcerer, they summon some creature to enforce their will and lay the blame on me for the depredations of their monster. Lord Celestianus says it comes in the night. Not just here, in the communities. People go missing and are not seen again.
Your mother is the only one who seems to have been affected but remains.
I do not know the truth of their hearts, but she has also been supplemented in her support by sigillites, those fanatics for... Somehow she got word to them, and they have happily come to try and seek out her sorceress offspring.
Sigillites are a lot of things, but involved in dark magic, I cannot believe.
They are fanatics and fools, he says. Lord Celestianus says, I do not know if her witchcraft conceals itself from them, but what better place to keep a hidden witch than behind an army of witch hunters. They seek out our Lord under false accusations, while the canker sits at the heart of their encampment.
Now, what's her name here?
Morgana, the daughter?
Morgana. Is Morgana involved, or simply under your mother's?
Rabat shakes his head. She says, no, she is a hostage. She is being held, and Sir Anwis's loyalty was bought with my sister's marriage bed.
Yes.
We have some support from some here, but with the sigillites augmenting her, those who have remained loyal to her, and Lord Celestianus says, traitors! He says, the traitors who have remained loyal. She conceals her form well. I think they not know, not many at least, of what she truly is now. What it is that walks in her skin. But it has been difficult. We have victories. They are overturned. They see successes bleed us. We have more join. The only true success we've seen is in feeding the graveyards of those folk loyal to the Black Tower.
Have you a plan? Or is it
He looks at Lord Celestianus, and he says, we have some thought. Lord Celestianus says, if the witch dies, this ends.
Yes, so an assault on the family home.
Indeed. An assault with a feint. Our forces are limited, and such a stratagem will cost us dearly. But if it appears we are attacking in force, that may suffice to distract those fanatics in the sigillites sufficiently to leave the opportunity for someone to confront my mother or the creature that calls itself Lady Erwin now. Lord Celestianus gives a, like, his bushy eyebrows kind of twitch for a second, and he says, where did you come from? Where did you pass through to reach here? Where did you inquire of our Lord?
What was the
Ramble
name of
Cross.
Ramble Cross is where we passed through.
He
Not
looks,
until we reached there had we heard.
and you made your presence known?
We were known.
He looks at Lord Rabat and says, then her forces may be looking.
We determined that they may be after us, wishing to turn us to their side against you before we could speak with you.
Lord Celestianus kind of snorts. We cannot pay, mercenary. At least, and Sir Robat says, well, at least not now. But once I have access to the treasury of the Black Tower again, we will see your contract fulfilled and your needs satisfied. So I say, Kenyon, you rode with me before, though we have no horses.
Well, we believe that we have come here to help you, so help you we shall.
Are you sure this is what the fates have led us to?
Retake the Black Tower. Some evil has taken possession of it. Surely it is our fates to turn that evil away.
I have no doubt.
And nor do I. In normal circumstances, I'd be looking at this hopeless mess and probably trying to find an alternative. But what's a little rebellion without, save the people, put the rightful prince back where he belongs.
Exactly.
Destroy evil wherever we find it.
Yeah, that too. And get paid.
Now, I'm just checking one thing here. I'm sure it's nothing sinister.
Like, you know what rebellions are built on? Rebellions are built on hope.
Well, that and guns.
Well, I'd take a bow.
To quote a philosopher, what are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language? Let's see. There we go. Licknir, would you kindly give us an awareness check, please, at routine?
Awareness at routine.
How about I go to where I can see the result?
Okay. And at routine, here we go. Modifiers. Yikes. I think I will spend 8.
Yeah, you got a fortune?
I do have one fortune currently.
Oh, well, so remember the fortune pool? Fortune and misfortune pool is what refreshes at the start of each session.
Yeah.
Your fate is a very valuable one that you have to flip to get back. But fortune and misfortune is for rerolls. You can spend those. I mean,
okay.
I just get to do fun stuff with misfortune.
Right. Okay, here we go. Come on, routine.
So I think that there's an odd scent in the air here, Licknir, and
alchemical scent?
No, it is. It is something beyond the veil. Something. The scent was at the cabin. You cannot place it. It may have been here for quite some time as you moved up towards here, and it is not sure. You're not clear whether it is blowing in from the surrounding forest, whether it swirls around in here, whether it emanates from something within these broken walls.
Oh no.
But there is the smell of something.
I will be more on my guard and looking around with my sixth sense just casting around, see what else I might pick up. But I continue to smoke my pipe very calmly.
Yeah.
And probably to kind of maybe see what happens if he covers the scent with the smell of the smoke. If the scent returns, or what, try and figure out whatever you can about it.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that when you smelt it, like you felt the presence of the odd, and shifted your senses into, because you can make use of odd sight, I believe, at will. So.
Yes, that is right.
Yeah, so you're not. You're just not able to see what it is. It's kind of like trying to. I'm trying to think of what the analogy would be. Like trying to distinguish the smoke from a campfire in a bank of mist. Mm-hmm. Of like, if I look close, I can kind of make the distinction, but I lose it as soon as I try and focus on whatever it is you were looking at. All right, so the other thing that will come from this is if you were throwing in with him, they are going to you're going to benefit from their patronage level. So, patron, you are sleeping in a roof overhead.
Yeah.
So that
There's
is
walls and a roof. That's wonderful.
So you guys have access to anything with patronage level 3 or less. So if there's any supplies, weaponry, armor, whatnot that you wish, patronage 3 or less, you are certainly welcome to grab that. A Gambison, for instance, is a patronage level 3.
Oh.
If you wish to have armor, Emrys. Buckler or a Tulian, like a round shield, are also patronage 3 or 2. Fair bit of weaponry are patronage level 3. And for ranged weapons, no bows, but a horse bow is 4. So if you wish to spend those spoils to augment your purchasing power, you can purchase that horsebow.
Ooh, I would totally do that.
Okay. So if you could,
that was something I was going to ask about, Kev. So if I'm not going to use, because it says crossbow and light crossbow are damage or CB
combat bonus.
I'm an AB heavy character, so I'd want to try and stay with bows if possible. That's how I understand that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like that's what a finesse weapon is, something that uses your agility bonus as a starting point for damage.
Okay.
As opposed to...
But they're all a ranged check.
They're all a ranged check, yep. And then like the horsebow also has fast, which I believe gives -10 to defenses.
Oh, okay. I thought fast was reduced your reload time.
Well, your reload time tells you what your reload time is.
Okay. So both still once.
Yeah. Good. So fast, I'll double check.
So,
no, -10 chance to dodge or parry.
Okay, so we'll trade in...
But the horsebow is only 1 AP for reload.
So we have, in my trappings I've written down the spoils. It's spoils level 4 from the deserters. So that would drop it to spoils level 3?
That would get rid of it altogether. If it's a single purchase.
Get rid of it altogether?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are okay with I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Oh, I'm getting a bow.
So then, if there's anything else you guys wish to get, I don't... I want to say that Salmiak and Theriac is probably more expensive than that, but let's take a look.
So.
Yeah, Theriac is 5, Salmiak is 5.
Yeah. So I figured I'd pick up some clean bandages, which is 2.
Yep.
And a vial of holy water, which is 3.
Okay. Yep. Anything 3 or less, you're free to take. This is part of the way the patronage system works. Anything else you guys wish to talk to Sir Robat about, or Lord Robat about? We sort of got distracted with gear when we were talking about the plans here, but...
Well, gear and weird, dark feelings of some darkness going on here.
Yeah.
Gearing up is part of the plan, Kevin.
Yeah, there's usually a whole montage dedicated to just that.
I tell you, it's one thing that I've not yet run Death Watch. Well, that's not true. I've run Death Watch twice, but I haven't run the proper game. But one of the things in that Death Watch is there's a whole requisition phase for it. Actually, G.I. Joe has that too. But both of them have a requisition part where you're kind of grabbing your gear, and that seems like it would be a shit ton of fun. Just both of them have a sub mechanic for that kind of stuff. This isn't on second, just because I was reading it again recently. The G.I. Joe games rule for encumbrance is fucking awesome because it's 6 hands worth of stuff. So a pistol, a rifle, 2 grenades, and 1 knife. That's 6 hands.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really neat. Super easy to figure out. So the what do you call it? So it does sound like they will be distracted. The forces of Lady Irwin will be looking for you right now. So perhaps if we take that opportunity to strike elsewhere, someone could confront my mother.
Well, and it is possible that maybe I could be given an audience with her. I'm not sure.
Morgana always was fond of you as well. If you were to tell her either of our intent, she must see what we see. Perhaps she would give some assistance or ease the transition upon the plan's success, says Sir Robat. Now, you remember Robat was always a bit overconfident in his ability to do things. He was no, I'm good enough swordsman to take on so-and-so, and then he would lose. And,
right.
I'm good enough, I can ride that, old war horse and then get thrown from it. So you do know him as a bit of a hothead who has a poor judge of his own limitations.
Right. Overconfident.
Yeah, and you no doubt, it's no doubt you have seen a lot more war than what he has. Even though there's been the Betrayer's War, you have been a mercenary for years now, so the regularity of people dying is something that you have been well acquainted with.
Right.
You also have seen it much more from the boots on the ground perspective. Even though you were commander in part of the Hallowed Hounds, you've had formations of men around you dying and killing, which this guy probably, he still may be thinking in terms of chivalric mounted combat,
Right.
So,
well, excuse me.
Lord Celestianus says, nothing could be decided this evening. We must consult. No. Sir Robat says, we will have quarters set aside for you, such as we have, and what we have is yours. And he steps forward and kind of grabs you by both arms again, and he says, it's so good to have you. It's so good to have you back.
It's good to see you too, friend.
And you. He says, come, Celestianus. And Celestianus makes sure that each of you gets a good looking at. And so he, knows each of you to suggest he's got your full measure. And then the three of you leave. There's one of the footmen or something in service to him, one of the maybe a squire that leads you over to a ruined, maybe it's a Houndmasters, you know, is where the kennels would have been, now long emptied, but they're gonna give you that as a place for you to sleep. It's got a roof over it, so at least it'll keep you out of the elements. Looks like there's a fire pit in here, and you can see where they've got supplies and stock and whatnot. So it will also afford you an opportunity to have a conversation with each other. So when you guys are alone, what happens?
Well, it's like literally the second, you know, the others are out of earshot. I lean in and say, I didn't want to say anything in front of your friend and his friend. But I sense something beyond the veil. Here, darkness. I don't know if it is leaking into the keep or it's leaking out of it. But there's definitely something here. I cannot make out precisely what, however.
Something here at the keep.
Yes.
Well, that's troubling.
I smelled it in the air, and then I felt it. I'll keep my eye on it.
Well, Emrys, we did not discuss before we arrived, but do you think it wise to share a vision with Lord Rabat?
I don't trust that Celestianus any further than I can throw him. So I'm glad you didn't say anything about it, but what would Rabat think? Would he think the fates are drawing us here to help his family sort this mess out?
Well, I wish to judge if he had seen a similar vision. He seems confident in what has happened to his mother, and I just wondered if that was just a son's intuition or if he had been shown more.
You guys can give us let's see here. I think it's scrutinize. Give us a routine scrutinize check. Let me double check the skill. Yeah, scrutinize what we're looking for. I love the skill list in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always very intuitive.
Yep.
Yes.
Should I bother?
Fucking yeah. No, because I mean, you guys may notice different things. You guys will have different contexts for knowing this fellow, right? Amorous, you want to fortune that?
Sure. Say 15.
Yeah.
Routine, right?
Routine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Kenyon, you think of when you guys, I mean, for us, it's been fucking months. For you guys, for your characters, it's only been a matter of like less than a week, right? And you think of back that week when you first met with some of these, your fellow Blackbirds, in the one, intersection in Carrick, where you're all stationed in different parts, and you remember overhearing that song that Naldo was composing, and all of you seem to know instantly what had happened, and at a glance, you recognize that knowing in each other's eyes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right? When you met Leknir, similarly, there was just this moment of clear realization, a moment of knowing, of like, you're one of us. That was definitely absent from the connection you felt with Rabat. Is the connection of time and history. It is not that. I will also tell you, I think you have grown and changed a great deal more than likely he has. How could you not? You have traveled and gone places and seen and done things that he did not.
Right.
And Leknir, you are confident that he is hiding something. And you think it's not only from you, you think it's hidden from Celestianus himself. I expect that saying about low expectations. He may be a victim of blindness occasioned by low expectations of what this Lord is capable of. Not everyone gets away with the, like, crotchety senior advisor, who says what, really needs to be said kind of thing. Those times sometimes get people, put on a rack. But that seems to be the dynamic that's presented between the two of them, where Celestianus is the, like, senior one. Not even he sees it that you see it, that he's hiding something. And I'd say Kenyon did not notice that, neither did Emrys.
Whenever I feel like I can take them aside for a moment, so that definitely nobody's overhearing this, I will relay that to both of them.
How do you phrase it?
There is something he's not only hiding from us, but from that one, Celestianus. You know what this could be? Do you sense it?
Robat is hiding something.
Yes. Seems to have something to do with the relationship between them, perhaps.
Maybe.
Did he seem in any way odd to you?
Remarkably unchanged, Kenyon.
Yeah. No, he seems the same, I would say.
But the same in an odd way.
I noticed nothing odd of him.
But if someone is exactly the same, isn't that strange? I realize he did not leave here, but still, one has experiences in the world. I mean, perhaps not. I do not know the cultures down here as well as you.
Fair. But maybe.
And it does not mean that it's something of evil intent that is meant to cause harm. I do not know the answer to that. I just sense that something is being withheld.
Right.
Some truth.
From us or his advisor?
From both, it seems. Maybe it's only intended for Celestianus, and therefore he must use the same cover with everyone. I do not know.
Well, maybe
You
we
think
can.
the two are related? Your suspicions that he's hiding something, and your noticing the void or the.
It's very possible. I cannot confirm that yet.
I don't know these things, so I'm wondering if can someone hide, like they talked about the mother hiding her demon or what have you. Could Celestianus be doing something similar?
That is entirely possible. Perhaps that is what I have picked up in both cases.
And just to be clear, the role that Leknir made is in relation to Robat, not Celestianus.
Oh, to Robat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Robat's hiding something. Oh, sorry, I got confused.
Yeah, so it's hidden too. It's fucking made up people with made up names, right? So it's easily misunderstood. What it is Celestianus does not seem to recognize that this young lord is hiding something from him. But it was a tricky find. Like it's a critical role that you've got, so you're able to piece like something is off about this person I just met, and no one else seems to recognize it. Even you, Kenyon. Like he you just met Licknir. He does seem to have a pretty good judge. Maybe that introduces some kind of nagging doubt in your mind, but you didn't see it. You didn't witness anything unusual. Not only did he not seem to have the vision of the Black Tower the way you all did, whatever Licknir is talking about, a secret, you didn't pick up on that.
Right.
Though when you see friends after a very long absence too, it's hard to not see them as the person they were, as opposed to who they are.
So maybe the staticness of him is more what I'm seeing in him than what he really is like now.
Could be.
Could be.
Perhaps.
You've changed substantially, so who knows?
Mm-hmm. Maybe we can get him away from Celestianus and have a conversation with him, and maybe more would be revealed.
Yes. Oh, that's a good idea.
Maybe he just knows enough not to say.
So we take them up on this offer to. I guess we have. We've already dug into their equipment.
I look at your bow. Yeah.
No, but like, are they thinking to cause a distraction then, and try and draw some of their forces away? And do they want us to sneak in and try and do the deed? That's how I saw it when they were talking about it, but I don't want to necessarily volunteer for it, but that might be what we're best suited for.
I'm here to help in whatever way it is intended.
Well, whatever it is, our fate lies at the Black Tower. We must make our way there.
Yeah, that's as clear as it could be, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That was the thing. You can all picture I keep using towering again, looming, soaring above the burning wreckage of Carrick, the streets filled with blood. You can see the Black Tower. You hear the flapping of birds, and boy, there are an awful lot of black birds. There's another second about Anna. So she knows like the layout of the place, so she knows how to keep watch on dogs from different directions. Midday today, she just, as is usual, a dog was on the street somewhere, so she needed to bolt outside in order to yell at it, right? She did, and we've had this crow that's been hanging around the last little while, and the crow kind of gave her like, settle the fuck down. As soon as she ran out, the crow was just like, rah, 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 rah. It's great. Anyway.
That's funny.
Yeah. Our friend Merle the squirrel we haven't seen in... it's not true. He's been around. Just hasn't been as vocal with Anna lately. But our new crow friend has apparently taken his place.
Yeah.
So...
Kev's Animal Kingdom. Are you sure you're not a druid?
I already told my parents, I'm like, so I've had a blue jay that has come close to kind of checking in. I've had a little bluebird that actually did fly in the house that I had to catch and like release again outside. Thankfully, didn't get hurt. I'm officially on my way to like, I got to stamp a couple more things on here and I get Disney princess status. So we're getting there.
Dr. Doolittle.
Thankfully, Anna didn't notice. Like, she doesn't notice when Merle comes up all that closely. She didn't notice the bird coming in, so I was able to go get something to like catch it in, so I didn't hurt its wings or whatever.
Yeah.
Thank God my dog is only alerted to like kids and other dogs. So then, you guys have got your, grabbed your supplies and whatnot. It's very, like, it was very late when you guys arrived. So, are you planning on just kind of catching a night's sleep? Does anyone wish to indulge? You're going to clear, because you're in a safe area, you are going to clear your peril threshold, or your peril condition tonight, and your damage condition will go up by 2. But does anyone else wish to do any other rekindling activities during that time? Swapping out talents or techniques, for instance?
Yeah, I believe we also have to repair our stuff.
Were you in a fight?
We didn't fight. I don't have my.
Was everything all fixed though?
Everything was repaired before you guys. Was it damaged? I don't think you got. There is one thing. There's the sling. Tagwin's sling needs to be repaired because it was used to wound that deer to use as distraction for the wolves that were pursuing you guys.
We haven't fought anything since the cabin, and Tagwin had fixed everything after, I thought.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, okay, you're right. I have all my stuff.
Yeah, it's only when you guys fight that it degrades in condition. So, I mean, technically your gear could go down, but on a rekindling, you can pretty much get everything back up to full. So, anything you guys wish to do?
Breaking the fate-bound bread together?
You could gain access to bread, and you guys happen... Licknir has not been traveling with you this long, but I think there is a supernatural connection between you as members of a flock.
Yeah. Definitely.
So would you like to do that?
And I'm not changing any of my slots or anything, just FYI.
Okay.
I might switch over to the unblinking eye new technique and give myself a range bonus with this new bow I've got.
Very nice.
Oh, sweet.
To get a stealth bonus from your talent and then a range bonus from your thing, you're the arrow from the woods. Emrys, would you kindly give us
alchemy?
Give us an easy awareness check, please. Yeah. You will be given the alchemy check shortly for your dusking.
Nice.
So, Emrys, you're out in search of, getting an actual loaf of bread. Like, there are, supplies and whatnot here, but you do, for this particular ritual that you learn from your Nan, you do need that, I can't remember, do you call her Nan or Gran?
Nan.
Nan, okay. Thought so. My mom put her foot down when Jaden was very little. She's like, I'm going to be Nana. I will not be Grandma. She's been Nana ever since.
Funny.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, so Jaden came over on Saturday night, and we got caught up on The Penguin.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of that?
Fucking awesome. Yeah. Really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
My list of shows is so long.
Oh, honestly, I'm so far behind in most things. It just so happened that one's on, and there are a lot of other things that I'll fall behind on. Batman stuff. I was behind on that, but it's Jaden and I used to watch when Mandalorian first came out. We would watch that together, and then just got too many goddamn shows, so we couldn't keep up with stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's nice having a show where this is what we're going to do when you come over for dinner.
Yep.
So, Amorous, what's your? I can't remember the actress's name, but she's been in just a ton of stuff in the last little while. The one who plays Sophia Falcone, she's just so fucking good in that too. Something Maloney or something like that.
Kristen Milioti?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She was in there's a great episode of Black Mirror. She's in this second season of Fargo. She's been in a ton of things lately, but really great in this. Okay. And apparently that was one of her, she wanted to be a Batman villain for a really, really long time.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah. Okay, so then, guys, what you see, Emrys, you're heading over and you're kind of rooting your way around. what you happen to spy is perhaps something that you maybe you recognized in another age. And that is a young kid who you notice seemingly sneaking into where the supplies are. And from the way the window in this room is kind of propped open, you suspect she came in from out of it. She's collecting, it looks like stuffing stuff into a rucksack that she likely is going to run off with. And the shiner on her face tells you maybe there's a reason she's hiding. Would you try and conceal that you are seeing her?
I think I'd want to get closer and then like cut her off so she can't escape.
Sure. Give us a stealth check. This will be contested. So let me just get my thing here.
Then.
Oh!
Let's reroll that one.
You did say that you wanted to chase after her, right? Because I think actually you can't critical fails. You can't in this game.
You can't reroll contested.
Yeah.
No, you can't roll critical fails.
No.
Critical fails, sublime
critical
fails.
fails.
You're stuck with. It's like Savage Worlds. So the what do you think happens that just makes you so obvious that you're trying to cut her off?
I think he's thinking about the shiner and he's wondering how she got it, and he's already starting to feel like, you know, maybe I should just let her go, and she probably did. Maybe she deserves that stuff, but she's like, well, she's now stealing from my patron. I gotta step in and do something about it.
Okay.
And while he's going, all this stuff's going through his head, he's not really paying attention to what he's doing.
And you hit up against something, and there's a clatter of some stuff that goes down. She looks over at you, her eyes lock, and then she turns and it's fucking bolts. So would you like to chase?
Sure.
Okay. So this will be a contested athletics. Athletics is a brawn skill, so you're going to take your degrees of success, what you rolled, so what you needed to roll minus what you rolled on the tens digit, and then add your bonus to that. I think I just described that in the most convoluted way. This is I had this week. It turns out like my like overly ornate sentences sometimes are not necessary. I had a court reporter almost go cross-eyed trying to read back one of my questions. She tried it 3 times. She's like, "I'll get it. Hold on. It's this," and I'm like, "I probably could have phrased that in a less baroque way." And she's like,
That's very funny.
So I hope that was clear. My description. It was you're making the roll, the tens digit. You subtract the tens digit from whatever you needed to roll against a standard roll. So go ahead and then add your BB, your brawn bonus.
Okay, so standard roll, and my brawn bonus is a 5.
Nice. So that's a 6 total. You're going to catch up to her. I had it in my head that's going to be a 5. She failed by enough that you're going to be able to catch up to her before she really gets to that
Nice.
where the palisade wall was, the one that's easier to kind of slip through. She's racing along. She's got a little basket in her hand. How do you want to stop her? You want to kick her legs out? You want to grab her? You want to try and put her, hand over her mouth or what?
Grab her and then do this, like.
Okay. Why don't you give us? Gosh.
That's a
I think a charm.
charm.
Yeah, because you're not trying to scare her, right?
No.
Charm or guile, either of those I think would make sense, because you're also trying to be like fellow conspirator, kind of like shut up, kind of thing.
I'll roll guile. It's probably the same.
Okay.
But
do you have training in either of them?
no.
Don't you have something that gives a bonus to guile though? Or no, I'm thinking of Naldo. Ignore me.
Yeah.
Now that you can re-roll if you choose.
Well, then I will.
Nice.
Come on.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, her eyes are wide, and she immediately goes quiet. She looks at your hand. She looks at you. She looks terrified. But
he's like, you're stealing from my patron, but why don't you tell me why and how you got that shiner, and we'll see about what happens next.
Her eyes are kind of trembling.
He's trying to be empathetic and understanding and not threatening.
Yeah. And I think that actually works. She kind of looks at you and she says, I don't recognize you. You are new here?
Yeah.
You should run. Our Lord is a monster. See where he goes at night. I was...
Or... Actually, he won't say Robat. He'll say Celestianus, because he's already thinking in his head Celestianus is kind of a jerk. But...
She shakes her head. No. The young Lord. Robat. He's a monster. And allied with others. And she kind of touches her eye, and flinches with the pain. I tried telling Sir Simonis. He struck me and called me traitor, so I fled. But I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get back. I was squired to him. If he finds me, he will kill me. Or beat me next to that.
He's like, okay. He looks around, makes sure there's still nobody around.
Yep.
And then he's like, take what you've got, hide on the east end of camp. When I'm leaving camp, I'll find you.
Her eyes are locked with you and kind of trembling. She's like, you're leaving.
And he's like, but where does Robat go? Which direction? What's this madness you talk about?
She gestures in the direction of, it's not directly towards where the Black Tower would be, but it's a little off from that. It is much more in that direction than anywhere else, and it's away from Ramblecross. So kind of, if Ramblecross is sort of equidistant between the two, from Malgrave Keep and the Black Tower, it's on the other side of that, but she's gesturing in a way that is not directly towards the Black Tower, but a little off from that.
What did you see? And just be quick.
Her eyes just well up with tears, and I think I need to make a will check for her. Resolve check. I'll see if she can get it out. And if you're assuring her, I'll roll 1 dice for assistance.
Yeah.
So I can replace the 10
Put her arm on her shoulders. I can say comment. It's okay.
She says, it was a terrible giant corpse infant. And all those words seem like silly to kind of have together, but the way her entire body is trembling just tells you, like, she cannot be lying about this.
Yeah, I think he doesn't even want to hear anymore, and he just kind of like, shh, go, get out of here.
She runs, she does that thing where she kind of stops and like turns back to look at you before she goes, and then races off.
And then I will stay and watch just to make sure no one's watching the exchange.
As far, what's your awareness? You give this awareness roll. Fuck it, I don't need to hide that. You're pretty confident no one has seen her or seen your interaction with her.
Then I forgot the bread. I don't even bother to get the bread, and I go straight back to Kenyon and Lakener.
Guys, I've got no bread, but boy, can I dish. Boo! Boo, Madison. What happens?
Like,
you seem to have forgotten something.
Did you not go for bread?
I did.
Lickner and Kenyon are a terror at Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we are so hungry right now.
And Emrys is ADHD. Man, it's way off the charts some days. So it's like, ran into somebody. Okay, let's go back. Strange things have happened since the night before Eric, right? The dream, the vision. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So we've seen and heard things that are completely out of the ordinary. We've seen the fates intervening and really dark things like at the cabin. So what I'm getting at is I need you to be open-minded with what I'm about to tell you. I ran into somebody who is so scared of people here in the camp doing strange, dark things that they've basically been beaten for it and are willing to plunder from the stores and escape alone into the forest rather than stay. And they told me the direction where somebody goes to. It sounds like convene or something with something dark. And I'll use the words that she described.
At that phrasing, Kenyon,
Yeah.
there is something that would come back to you.
Well, so I didn't want to alarm you back at the cabin, but I did see some giant footprints. Could they be connected? Possibly.
Could be. Would you be willing to investigate this?
I mean, we have to know what is going on.
Would you investigate if your friend Robot was involved?
Well, I must. I cannot go from childhood memory at this point to trust what is possible. I want to believe that he is not corrupted or something has happened to him, but I must know. Or
maybe
if something has happened to him, maybe he can still be saved.
yeah.
It is possible he is possessed by something. We may be able to free him if that's the case.
Exactly.
And what he said about his mother may or may not be true. Like it's he may believe what he believes and it may be accurate. Maybe there's more than one dark force at play here.
Maybe.
That is
So-
possible.
Get your stuff and follow me. Apparently every night he goes to some place just outside of camp. Secret and dark.
She
Can
said
we check
at
tomorrow
night.
night?
Oh, tomorrow night?
She said at night, not
No.
every night.
Not every night.
Kenyon is the one saying, "Can't we sleep tonight first?" I was so looking
we
forward
could.
to this sleep.
We could, definitely. We don't know if that's going to happen tonight or not.
I mean, perhaps the two of us, Emrys, could go and take a watch. See if we see anything. Did she say it was a specific time? Like midnight or no?
But I'd feel better with Kenyon's sword standing there. No offense,
I agree.
Rainier, but the three of us are more.
No, there is strength in numbers. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, and if it is something with Robat, I do feel I need to see it with my own eyes.
There's definitely something going on here with your friend and with dark things beyond the veil. We must
would
get to the
seem.
bottom of this. It is unclear what the truth may be. Too many layers of mystery.
Yes.
Perhaps tonight we can find some truth begin to unravel it.
Let's go. I know the approximate direction. We don't know if it'll happen tonight, but
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how we'd ever know necessarily without maybe the aid of. Oh, I don't know how we would know, but yeah.
Does anyone have any techniques or anything that would assist with that? I'm not asking facetiously. I genuinely can't remember.
for tracking or for
to assist with determining like timing or the likelihood of something appearing. I can't remember what divination types of abilities or what vitiations that Lickner may have access to.
Yeah.
Because remember, you can cast. I can't remember what are the
two like schools. Or whatever they're called. Sports, I think. I believe is one of them. And
see, I think I put it in chat, right in Discord.
Possibly.
Not in the channel. I think I whispered it to you because it was, or DM'd you.
That's
Oh, here we go.
possible.
Okay. Oh no, that's where is it here? Remnants of deceit and esoteria. Ooh, one is called Gnosis. In there.
So like a scrying kind of a thing, or
I don't know.
kind of thing?
I mean, Gnosis is like wisdom, right?
Yeah.
The Theurg asks a question of the outsider that must be answered truthfully if possible.
That's definitely one I could attempt.
That's just one.
Maybe possibly draw attention to us.
Yeah, just to assist
Maybe
with.
a way ahead.
Yeah. And I mean, when has George ever rolled a critical fail on, a spellcasting check and suddenly everything is
Near
different?
the end of a session that leads to trouble for the next 5 sessions.
And then I can't make it the next time.
And then leaves to Scotland.
That's how I know when I'm supposed to go.
Yeah. Yeah. There's Dunas here. See you later. Gotta go.
maybe we should verify for George. You don't have any trips to Scotland planned,
Not as of right now.
and you plan on being here for the next couple of sessions.
Yes.
Then he should totally roll. 'Cause
Yeah, you should roll. You should totally roll.
we know nothing bad's going to happen then.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
We don't want to force you to do it if you don't want to, especially
are you
with
kidding?
knowing that this guy seems suspicious of wizards as well. Finding a place to safely cast this in the event that the odd weft goes poorly.
Yeah. I mean, that's my biggest concern. I wouldn't call it a fear. I mean, that's why I was like very upfront with him when he asked me.
I think in our last session, I don't think it was necessarily your character to go over to the Blackbirds of Yule adventure. Somebody critically failed their casting and caused someone else to be stunned for the rest of the session. So,
Yeah. I mean, there's some negative consequences. If it doesn't go well. Yeah. I mean, I think Gnosis sounds like a good idea since we. Well, the question I guess we have to figure out is, what is it that we want? What question do we want answered?
yeah. Because the other thing to recall is that this comes at a cost. Your I can't remember what it's called. It's not warp threshold, but it's something similar to that. The debt or whatever, tithe, I think it's called.
The tithe, yeah. Tithe.
Yeah, that you owe to the outsider. It will increase with the casting of this.
Yeah.
Do we need to?
I mean, it's there as a backup, but I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, and so like
right now.
If, for instance, if you wish to, know something as broad as like, will he leave tonight? that could be something that could be answered. Although you may want to frame the question in such a way where the answer is more productive than having to cast it over and over again. Because when that tithe becomes due and you have to do something to pay it off.
That's true.
Yeah.
We might want to ask something along the lines of
when do we need to go?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, I see.
When do we need to go?
And then
Are
you feeling all right if I use asphyxiation here? I don't want to offend your friends, but I don't know if that is your friend either.
No, I do not know that is him either. He seemed to have the memories of our childhood, but he claimed that his mother is possessed, and yet she has the memories of her previous life. So he could have been describing in his mother the traits of his own troubles.
Projected on his mother.
I mean, there is something odd about the fact that he has not changed and he's referencing only things from your childhood, as if he doesn't have access to any memories beyond that. Perhaps
Kenyon has been gone since then. Like he hasn't been back here in many, many years. So
yeah,
he may not have a frame of reference, but and it is it
seems like it's possible. That it's just normal.
Yeah, and it's kind of pitch black right now too. Like it's dark. So if you're keeping an eye on him as to when he might be disappearing, you can see he probably was talking to Celestianus about plans. Incidentally, if Emrys told Kenyon who the girl was squired to, he wouldn't know the guy, but you recognize it's Simonas Vidziunas. That's that guy who was slightly older than her. She was squired to him.
Oh, yeah. I'll give that information.
Oh, before she ran off?
She was squired to Simonas, and he struck her for speaking out about Robot.
Oh.
Well, it's possible that he is involved as well.
Oh, no.
Or just defending.
Perhaps.
This is troubling.
We want to just go and check?
We can.
I mean, I feel as though we need to know.
Okay.
Agreed.
Then it appears, are you trying to plan this for when he's gone to bed to then go and set yourself up in a place where you can watch from outside, or are you trying to watch from inside? The difficulty with it is because the limited, staff that's here and whatnot, like they have kind of torches around the outside, but they don't really have enough people to watch the full place, and they're kind of relying on the walls seemingly protecting them, it seems, or the fact that they're all, fighting men and women living within here.
Right.
It'd be very easy to slip in, slip out. Emrys, you would have no difficulty raiding the pantry here with that, and not for nothing, a child is able to be slipping in and out of here. So,
right.
Someone intent on doing so would be tricky to track from inside. If, I don't know. How do you guys think you would approach this?
Yeah, it seems like we have to be outside. Have any chance?
Yeah, because we don't know if he's already departed in the time that we've been talking, or I left. So
we should go.
We should just go.
Okay.
Stumble around in the woods for a bit in the night, because nothing bad happens in the woods.
Exactly.
And that, to me, sounds like a terrific way to start our next session. So, everybody gets one RP. And...
But not a good night's rest.
Not a good night's rest, unfortunately. It genuinely is one of the cooler... there's a lot I love about this game, and about, Zweihander, which is based on. That might be one of the fucking coolest ones, Like, the peril threshold is such a neat mechanic for reflecting the other part of adventuring that it's just exhausting and, wearing it down, and having a mechanic that can be used for that kind of stuff is really freaking cool. Then, so for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for Chapter 12 of our Blackbirds tale, The Truth in Ashes. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the adventure, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. It has been a couple of busy weekends and whatnot, so I am behind on replying. My apologies to folks who have written. I have some questions I need to answer for them. I've had some really interesting questions posed in the last little bit on some older videos, so I will reply to those, but I'm just behind right now. There's also a link in the description of the video to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active, and we have channels there dedicated to this game. No, it is powered by Zweihander Games, to most of the games we run on the channel, as well as a ton of other channels like Finding a Group or Virtual Tabletop Chat or General GM Discussion. There's a great community that has built up over the years over there, and you are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to something called to our friends at Noble Knight Games. I still haven't written them. Shoot, I'll do that tonight. So Noble Knight Games is what was my phrasing here? Hold on. Noble Knight Games, the preeminent retailer of hard to find it. Thank you, guys. Hard to find it. It's almost like as if you've heard it hundreds of times by now. The preeminent retailer of hard to find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an amazing selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard to find and out-of-print RPGs. If they do not have in stock something that you are looking for, you can put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And then if you make a purchase of $10 or more through the website, the current discount code has expired, so I need to follow up with them tonight, and I'll do that tonight. But when you have the discount code, when we have it updated, you can enter that at checkout and save yourself 10%. I'll post on the Discord server once we have it active again. There is also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages, which is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages, the international charity, an incredible organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. All donations through that link go directly to them, and it's a small way of saying thank you to the generous donors. If you donated $25 or more since the start of the year of 2024, head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel. I need to post there as well. The Charity Initiatives channel, where we're currently voting on our next mashup session that we'll be playing at the end of the month. The mashup going on right now is taking the classic Great Pendragon campaign, which we will be playing with Modifius Entertainment's Fallout RPG. So it'll be interesting to see what kinds of knights we'll be revisiting with that. We still have two more charity sessions, two more charity mashups after that, where you'll be able to vote on what classic module we're pairing up, or what RPG we're pairing up with a classic module, as well as some aspects of the character generation system as well. So if you have donated $25 or more since the start of the year, head on over there, and we will cast your vote for the next part of the mashup campaign. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart Blackbirds. So Dave, Jeffrey, and George, thank you so much for playing tonight. This was a really fun session. Good chatty stuff and some great crit fails. So that makes for a good session in my books. We will be back in Elkland and the haunted, seemingly, Mulgrave Keep in 1 week's time. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our Blackbirds are encountering as they're trying to see some old friends and finding nothing but new troubles. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.
Yeah.